Hey everyone, I'm Spoony Bard. I sometimes find comic books at the dollar store, and here are a few of them. Let's check them out. So here I've got Superman Action Comics, Volume 9, Last Rites. This collects issues number 48 through 52, and this is the last volume of the New 52 iteration of the character before they do the DC Rebirth and storyline called Superman Reborn, where I don't know the specifics of what happened aside from New 52 Superman dies from exposure to different forms of radiation over the years. And then I guess somehow the original Superman was like still alive and hiding in the New 52. There you can see him and Lois and Jonathan, like his son from the pre-Flashpoint universe, and it ends with, I think, a tie into the big Superman event. Now, the only thing that I'm really interested in about this right now is that it brings me one step closer to my entire run of Superman New 52 stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to wait to read this. Here I've got a Superman book from the New Krypton era. That was when they were trying to bring pre-Flashpoint all the Superman family books, Action Comics, Superman and Supergirl, to have more closely in sync continuity. So this book is written by James Robinson, and he has written some of my favorite stuff from the Golden Age, the Starman series he did, and the beginning of JSA with Jeff Johns. And he has fallen off in recent years. I'm not sure why. I haven't read any of the stuff. I've read synopsis, and it's not good. Now this trade collects Action Comics Annual number 10, Superman number 684 through 690, Action Comics 874, and Superman Secret Files 2009. Now the only thing these issues actually have a personal significance to me. These are the issues contained within here are, I believe, the actual last single issues I've ever bought of a comic book at a local comic book shop. These came out around the time I met my wife, and I had different priorities going on. So it's cool to kind of track this stuff down at a really great price and kind of see what I've missed. That's right, 3 volumes of The Flash in sequential order too, which is always nice. Now I've got volume 7 here, which has The Flash. This is the New 52 era, by the way, sorry. The Flash issues number 36 through 40, and Secret Origins number 7. The art is by Brett Booth, who I love ever since his Wildstorm days, doing like Taboo and Backlash and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know much about this. I have the 1st, 2nd, 5th, now the 7th, 8th, and 9th trade, so I could probably get a general idea of what's going on based off of what I have now. Next, I've got The Flash Volume 8 Zoom. Again, this is the New 52 era. It collects issues 41 through 47, and The Flash Annual number 4. Obviously, as the name implies, this deals with Zoom or Professor Zoom or whatever he's going by. I don't know much about the New 52 era of The Flash, I should say. I loved Wally West as The Flash. I'm disappointed that they brought Barry Allen back. I like the character, but I grew up with Wally, so to speak. You know, I've read like every single issue of the previous Flash book, not the one where Bart Allen dies, but the post-crisis from what, 87 through 2011, and heavily invested in the character, his wife, his kids. That's a personal rant on this. It looks cool. Robert Venditti is writing, who seems to be a good writer from Green Lantern, so I'm sure this is a good story. And I don't really know what happens. The final volume of The Flash is The Flash New 52, Volume 9, full stop. Now, you can see on the cover, it has the Rogues with a Flash Wanted poster. This is collecting issues number 48 through 52. And on the back cover, while it just says those, it actually does contain the first full issue of the Flash Rebirth #1. Now, I have not read any of the New 52 Flash, but based off of, Barry behind bars, the Rogues tracking him down. In the original pre-Crisis on Infinite Earths continuity, Barry Allen accidentally broke the Reverse Flash's neck while trying to stop him, and it was unfortunate. And he not put himself on trial, but he submitted to the due process of law for having murdered somebody. And I think he may have been acquitted at some point, but he's a moral character, so this definitely it took a toll on him. Of course, that's all gone now. And it seems like the final arc of the series, I guess the Riddler thinks that Central City is easier pickings than Gotham, because they have this group of rogues that have been operating for years. And here we can see some of the art for Flash Rebirth. I believe this is, I'm sorry, I forget his name. Like Carlo G. Domenico or something. He did the Magneto Testament with Greg Pak, and it is phenomenal. If you haven't read it, track it down. It's great. And the best thing about this for me is in the DC Rebirth, Flash Rebirth, they bring back Wally, the real Wally, finally. So, yeah, I've got these last 3 volumes. I've got the first couple. Now's a good time to read them. Here I've got Marvel Comics Marvel Man Classic. This is volume 2 with an amazing cover by Doug Braithwaite. Sorry, before I begin, this collects issues of Marvel Man number 35 through 44 in the original black and white. Now, when these were published originally, the covers were in color, but the interiors were all black and white. Now, this is like Golden Age comic book stuff here. So take it for what it's worth. There's a certain charm to this kind of stuff. But, it's not for everybody. If you're more accustomed to sort of modern narrative, this definitely feels very clunky. Now, something I want to point out here, if you've watched my video about some of the other Golden Age stuff I found, I did mention that, unfortunately, just through the process of time, a lot of the people who worked on these books are just lost through time. Now, unfortunately, it seems like that's the case here. You can see it was not industry standard at the time these stories were published to provide detailed credits for each strip. Mick Anglo worked with an ever-changing studio of assistants and secondary artists. The stories in this volume may have included contributions by these creators and others. So, shout out to everybody who probably isn't alive who's responsible for this, but definitely I hope their families appreciate that this stuff brought entertainment to people for generations to come. Now, the one thing I do want to point out is that Marvel Man is basically a lazy copy of Captain Marvel, who now goes by the name Shazam for DC Comics, which I honestly think they should have kept Captain Marvel. Their version is better than Marvel's. But you can see the story here, and I'll blow it up so you can see it better. But a reclusive astroscientist discovers the keyword to the universe that can only be given to a boy who's completely honest, studious, and of such integrity that he would only use it for the powers of good. Talk about run on. He finds such a boy in Mickey Moran, a newspaper copy boy, and treats him in a special machine which enables him to use the secret. Just before the scientist dies, he tells Mickey the key word, which is Kamota, which is atomic backwards. Mickey Moran remains as he was, but when he says the keyword Kamota, he becomes Marvel Man, a man of such strength and powers that he is invincible and indestructible. I mean, it's basically just like a Mad Libs of superhero. You just replace the word astroscientist with wizard, Mickey Moran with Billy Batson, his atomic word Katoma with Shazam, and Marvel Man with, obviously, Captain Marvel. And then I have Marvel Man Classic, Volume 3, with a gorgeous cover by Mike Perkins. Anyways, again, the covers, everything's reprinted in black and white, even though the covers originally were in color. It doesn't really change much. It allows them to just use the same kind of cheap paper throughout, but it works for these stories. So there you have my latest pickups. Be sure to check my playlists. You can see more of the cool stuff I've found. And I realize going forward that when I see stuff at the dollar store, when I pick stuff up, I want to try to get a video out to you guys a little bit sooner so that you can be aware of what's out there. Don't want to hog it all to myself, at least until I buy a copy first. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Bye.